The gentleman yields back. Mr. Rokita, you're recognized.
I thank the Chairman. I kind of want to talk about the act that's being marked up right now. For far too long under this administration, members of Congress, American workers, employers, and their families have been fighting what is really an activist National Labor Relations Board that has been acting in the interests really of big labor rather than as the impartial referee that they're supposed to be for labor disputes. And again, that's exactly what they're supposed to be doing, being a referee, and instead they're really just being a shill for big labor. Now, to be sure, the NLRB has a role to play in determining labor disputes and certifying representation elections that are consistent with the spirit of the Act, and that is to protect the interests of employers and employees in the representation process. However, the NLRB's recent proposed rules have benefited neither the employer nor the employee and prevent workers from making informed decisions regarding their collective representation. As some of my colleagues have mentioned, the proposed ambush election rules give workers as few as 10 days to consider their important decision regarding unionization. In doing so, it unfairly prevents employers from adequately discussing the decision with their employees. Leading up to the election petitions, unions have unfettered access to the employees and organized drives for months. Oftentimes, the first that employers hear of a desire for unionization is when the petition is filed. Employers are not inherently bad, just as employees are not inherently bad. That said, employers have rights in these matters too, and the process should be fair, it should be open, and it should be thorough. The proposed rule is an affront to all of those ideas. Current law, albeit not perfect, has provided relative fairness in the established process. And make no mistake, in our legal system and in the legal system for labor, bad actors do deserve to feel the consequences of bad action. Yet once again, the NLRB is carrying water for its big labor friends rather than the employers and employees who have made this country exceptional. As a result of these dramatic changes, the Board's proposal will stifle employer free speech and cripple worker free choice. As one committee witness recently testified, the rule, quote, needlessly alters the delicate balance that exists in current law that provides for the opportunity for an employee to make an educated and informed decision, unquote. The truth is, supporters of this administration and radical labor leadership don't want employees to have the time to carefully weigh this decision, and they are abusing the rulemaking privileges Congress has given the NLRB to advance their agenda. To be clear, Republicans do not have any issue with the idea of labor unions or the hardworking men and women who are skilled workers that choose to join one. That's a value decision that they should freely be able to make. We do have, and I have, an issue with the NLRB and the self-serving national union leadership forcing their way into industries and workplaces and by any reasonable measure abusing the fairness that the NLRA is supposed to ensure. We do not need to debate the need or desire many have to be in a union, but I am happy to debate the freedom of Americans to make educated choices as they build better lives for themselves and their families. This rule is an affront to worker and employer freedom. The decision to unionize is an important one, and employees deserve the opportunity to make this choice in a reasonable time frame. Employers deserve the time to listen and talk with their employees as well. This bill will ensure that the NLRB cannot create an unfair environment to either party as the decision to unionize is considered. It puts them back in the position of an impartial referee. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.